Anytime you go through an experience like this, you're going to find out something about yourself that maybe you didn't know or you weren't as aware of before.
As I went through it, I realized how much strength I pulled from him. Stafford Strong entails both of us and what we have gone through.
This past January, Matthew and Kelly Stafford were heading west with their 3 little girls to get out of the Michigan cold and into the California sun.
The season was over. We were packing up to get out of Detroit for a little bit. I noticed some things that I remember telling my mom, I was like, I think I'm just aging. I've been lightheaded, I've done all that, but I've just never felt the room spinning feeling I was having. And then the vertigo hit, and that's when it really kind of cued to me. I was like, I'm not okay, or I'm something's going on. I don't know what it is. Eventually, I think Matthew was one that was like, we just had to go get you checked.
You know, it was one of those where you're going into an MRI and expecting it to come back completely clear. Weren't expecting to get the results, obviously, back that we got.
When we walked into the doctor's office, this nice little lady, she had my MRI pulled up and kind of just like, okay, well, here is your brain tumor. And on that scan, it looked big. We were walking out, I was like, I feel like that does not look insignificant.
Kelly was diagnosed with an acoustic neuroma, a non-cancerous tumor in her brain.
You don't think 29-year-old people get brain tumors and have to have brain surgery. You know, you just don't think about it. And she handled it as good as I could have ever imagined anybody handling it.
This is a tumor that grows right at the brainstem. So the major risks for this tumor would be facial movement, hearing, and balance problems.
Dr. Thompson suggested we remove it. I just want it over with. I want it to be done with. That's kind of...
Yeah, she was more ready than I was.
As surgery approached in April, Kelly and Matthew prepared for what they expected to be the hardest day of their lives.
I was terrified. I was terrified to not be here. I had all the confidence in the world in our surgeon, but it's brain surgery. And I think I told him a million times, I was like, I'm going to be fine up until surgery. Like, I'm ready. Let's do it. But the minute they pulled me from you and they were like, that's going to be my toughest moment. I wrote everyone who was there letters that was in that waiting room.
I read them and tore me up.
I just told him everything I loved about him. And it's long because he's a great man.
After 12 hours, the tumor had been removed.
So you want to go left?
Yeah.
How would you describe your recovery over the course of the last 5 months?
I think it started slow. And for those first few months, it was a lot of kind of motor skills, moving my head back and forth quickly. I think at about 2.5 months, I started feeling, okay, I'm going to start kind of getting into a little more.
How do you feel, Cup? You dizzy or you feel good? It's probably a little unstable.
Yeah.
After struggling to relearn how to walk, this is Kelly Stafford, 5 months after brain surgery. Throughout her recovery, she's been open on social media about her struggles, her victories, her fears. She punctuates her posts with the hashtag #StaffordStrong.
I wanted people to know that it's okay to be scared. I really was terrified of losing facial function. I was terrified of not being able to hear my girls yell at me. I wanted everyone to know everything I was kind of feeling at that moment.
As the Staffords adjust what Kelly calls their new normal, Their perspective on life has changed.
You know, I yawn and one side kind of moves a little more than the other, or when I cry, I only cry out of this eye. I really don't notice it, but few moments in life. And honestly, those few moments, I'm like, I don't care.
What do you think you guys learned about each other?
To see somebody go from where she was the night after the surgery to where she is now in such a short amount of time, I obviously learned, not that I didn't know it already, but just how tough she is.
Going through this, I really learned how strong we were. Nothing else matters, just family.